Okay, so yesterday, um, I we spoke about colors. We're still in the subject of colors, and I showed you guys the color wheel. Showed you guys how you could actually learn how to combine colors. And I said this Canva resource is a very useful resource to you as a designer, and to also both advanced and pro designers as well, because even if you do not have a prior knowledge to what color is, you could actually just go through this resource and understand every single thing you need to know about color. So yesterday I dealt on the color wheel, showing you guys what and what you need to know about how to get a complementary color for your chosen color, the split complementary, the triadic, and all that. And I also said in this particular section here, Canva also explains the color theory. So learning more, it's also here, learn more about color theory with this interactive tool and all that. Okay, so that's it for you guys to dwell on during this weekend. So just go through it. So today we'll be dealing on color meanings. So let me just click on it. So we're going to browse through both the primary and secondary colors. We're going to browse through the meaning of our primary colors, our secondary colors, and our tertiary colors. Our tertiary colors are the neutral colors we all know: the black, the brown, the gray, the brown, the black, white, and gray colors, and also gold. Yes, gold and silver. So we'll go through those colors. Those are So from primary to secondary to tertiary, I'm going to know all these colors and their meanings and their symbols, what they symbolize. Because like I said, whenever you want to make a design, depending on the theme, depending on the target audience, it determines that kind of color you will use or the kind of color to use. And you knowing and having at the back of your mind what all these colors mean, both emotionally and both symbolically, it's going to help you to achieve your desired project, right? So I know that there are bits of all these colors we're seeing here, all have meanings, every single one of them. This is actually what you see when you click on this, right? But instead of me clicking on these color boxes one by one, I'll just go straight to the point and write the color name here. So we're going to start with the first color in our color wheel. So we're starting with the first primary color, which is red. I'm just going to click on red, and we're going to browse through what it means. Okay, so still here, this is why I really love this tool, because even as you've clicked on the color red, it still gives you the color combination section where you have the monochromatic scheme, you have the analogous, you have the complementary, you have the triad, and the other ones. So basically, this is what red is. So it said red is a rich color with an even. So sorry, before I read, you guys can see my screen, right? You can see it, right? Lois and Divine, you can see it. Okay, fine, beautiful, excellent. Okay, so said red is a rich color with an even richer history. So all these things, I want to go straight to the point of what red symbolizes. So it says here, red is considered to be a color of intense emotions, ranging from anger, sacrifice, danger, heat, through to love, passion, and sexuality. And this is the color code for red. Now, you might not necessarily need to start mastering what these color codes are. Maybe when you actually start designing, you might just have it at the back of your mind. But if you want to make it a thing for you to know these color codes for each of these colors we're going to be dealing with today, you can do that. For one, if I really want to know what they are, I just go online and search for the color code for red. Or in your software, actually, your software has these color codes, right? So if I just go online and I search for the color code for red, I come and input it, and voila, it comes out on my software and all that. But I think it's good to also have it as a knowledge, knowing the color code for each of these things. So that's the color code for red. That's like I said, it's always in a hexadecimal format. And I said hexadecimal codes are a mixture of numbers and letters, right? And for red, this is double F and we have 4 zeros attached to it. So that's it for red. And these are the meanings. So when it comes to red, we're talking about anger, we're talking about passion, we're talking about energy, we're talking about range, danger, sacrifice, and all that. Okay, I want to ask this question to both of you. Who can give me a particular example of okay, can you give me a symbol, just an example of a symbol where the red color is attached to it? Just give me an example of anything you've seen that portrays, that has a red color and it signifies something. Just give me an example. Something you've seen. Okay. Okay, Lois said traffic light. Very good. So the red, what does it mean for the traffic light? The red color in traffic light, it means what? A stop. Very good. Okay, Divine, how about you? Have you seen something that has a red color that symbolizes any of these things we've seen? Danger or heat or whatever. Have you seen anything? Divine. Hello, Divine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so I was asking, can you give me an example of any illustration that has to do with red that you've seen? And what it symbolizes? Can you give me an example? There are so many examples. Or are you still thinking, Divine? Yeah, seriously thinking. So what of the danger sign you see, or maybe men at work sign you see on the road when they're doing a construction? There are a lot of illustrations that has to do with red, aside just the traffic lights Lois mentioned. There are a lot of illustrations, but I'm not going to dwell on that anyways. Why are you still thinking? Okay, so still on red. Um, Now, aside just the hexadecimal color, we also have the RGB and CMYK values. Good. I'm going to ask this question now because I said it yesterday. Lois, what's the meaning of RGB? What does RGB stand for? So while Lois is typing, Divine, what's the meaning of CMYK? I explained it yesterday. Lois, what's the meaning of RGB? Divine, what's the meaning of CMYK? I'm waiting for you guys as you're typing on the chat window. Or have you guys forgotten? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Lois, have you forgotten what RGB means? Hey, Lois has forgotten. Okay, Divine, how about you? Can you remember any of them? What's the meaning of RGB? Okay, okay. Red, green, blue. Okay, that's very correct now. So why did you say you've forgotten? You got it. RGB is red, green, blue. Right, that's very, very correct. Okay, Divine, how about you? What's the meaning of CMYK? I explained it yesterday. You can't remember. Okay. Lois, can you try? You say you can't try. Okay, that's fine, guys. Okay, so take notes. If you have your notepad with you or your pen and paper, please write it down. RGB stands for red, green, blue. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. I repeat, RGB stands for red, green, and blue. CMYK stands for, the C stands for cyan, the M stands for magenta, the Y stands for yellow, the K stands for black. Please take note. Take note. Okay, so for the red color, these are the values for the red color. So that's the hexadecimal value, the CMYK. These other ones are also values. This is the RGB in decimal. This is the RGB in percentage. Now, all these things may look confusing to you, but when you start using your software to design, it's going to make a lot of sense. So aside all these things, what the three things I just need you guys to focus on for each of these colors we're going to be doing is the hexadecimal value, the RGB decimal value, right, and the CMYK value. So these are just the three things I need you guys to focus on, because that's what we'll be using when we start designing, or whenever you want to design and all that. Okay, so if you want to read more about red, you could still go through it, and we also have some illustrations here. Canva gives you a free to use template actually for you to design with the color red. So it just says try out now. It's free. In your free time or after the class, you can actually try out. Click on this button here, and Canva gives you a lot of templates that has the color red, so you could just try it and do more about it. Okay, so that's it for red. So let's move over to the next color. I'm going to search for, so I think I'll just go back and search for the color blue. I think we're starting with the primary color, so red, blue, yellow. Okay, so let's search for blue. Sorry, my network it's a little fluctuating. All right, so blue. Okay, so the same thing here. Like I said, color combinations, the monochromatic scheme, analogous, and all that. Now, this is what blue means. So when we are talking about blue, blue has a lot of meanings, right? So when we are talking about blue, we are talking about security. Okay, yeah, this is it. I really wanted to show you guys. So it said blue is a color that has long been associated with royalty, art, military, business, and nature, right? These are some other things like history about blue. But when we are talking about blue, other definitions or other symbolism for blue, we could talk about security, we could talk about trust, we could also talk about being moody, right? So if you are like in a sad mood, that kind of thing, that's also where the blue color plays. I'm not sure they wrote it here, but based on my research and experience too, on what color meanings are, that's also what blue means. So you could just calm down and also go through this to understand more about the meaning of blue. So this is the color combination. It's a color combination, sorry. This is the hex value for blue. So I think this is a very, very simple one. So this is like the inverted color code of red. So we know that for red, it was double F and 4 zeros. But for the color blue is inverted. So we have 4 zeros and double F. So that's the color, the hex value for blue. Then, like I said, the three things we're focusing on, the hex value, the RGB decimal, and the CMYK. These are the color codes. So take note of them. You also have these links with you as well. So even when you want to make or design or work on any project, you can still go through it, even if you've not memorized it yet. You guys understand? Same thing here, like I said, for every color that we're exploring, Canva gives you an already made template for you to work with. So all these things here are templates that once you just click on this button, Canva opens up that particular page and you can work on any design with the color blue. Okay, so that's it for blue. I really don't know why they really explain much here about blue, but to just a recap of what blue means. So blue talks about business, blue talks about security, talks about trust, talks about consistency, and like they said here, it's also been associated with royalty. It's actually my first time of saying that because I know royalty has to do with purple, but since purple comes from blue, so they are correct. They are correct. Okay, so that's it for blue. So we move over to the next color, which is next color, that's yellow. Let me just go back. So type in yellow. Sorry guys. Yellow, yes. So I know that we have different, there are also those other ones that you saw as I was typing in, those are different color combinations, the yellow, orange, and all that. That's where we're talking about the other aspects of the color wheel. So this is yellow, right? So before I go down to what yellow means, just to be sure if you guys actually have an idea, who can tell me, not who can tell me, I want both of you to speak. So Divine, in your own way, what do you think yellow portrays? What's the symbolism of yellow? Same thing, Lois, what do you think yellow means? Or as you see yellow in your day-to-day activities, what do you think yellow portrays? All right, you can type it in the chat window. What is yellow? Can you guys tell me what yellow depicts or what yellow means to you? You can try. I know you guys know. Yes, I'm waiting. Or you guys are still thinking too. Divine, what's the meaning of yellow? Can you tell me what meaning of yellow? Or can you guys hear me? Okay, she said light. Lois, she said light. Okay, yes, that's good. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Okay, Divine, how about you? Okay, excitement. Very good, very good. You really have a good idea about what yellow is. So whenever you see yellow, talking about excitement, we're talking about fun, happiness, cheering, lights, as Lois would say, lights. Yes, also that's what yellow is. Okay, so I think I can go down now to see. Okay, so the color of yellow, like it says here, it said it's the color of sunshine and sunflowers. And yellow also stands for optimism, playfulness, and also being happy. This is like the most general word for yellow, happy, right? So, so also other definitions and other explanations about the color yellow, and we have the hex code for yellow. It has the 4 Fs and double zeros. Like I said, we're concentrating on the hex color and decimal colors. I'm not really going to bore you guys about all the history and all that about yellow. You guys can go through all this. So remember, like I said, the color will go through that, and also in this color meanings as well, go through these things so that you can actually have and understand the symbolisms of each of these colors. So same thing here too. Canva, like I said, gives you a template for you to work with the color code yellow, and you can just do that. So I'll just move over to the next thing. We still have so many colors to deal with. Okay, we've done with red, we've done with blue, we've done with yellow. So we're done with primary colors. All right, so who can give me one secondary color we should go next, or we should deal with? Let me know if you guys can still remember our secondary colors. What's the secondary color we should start with? Or should I call someone's name? Okay, Divine, what secondary color should we start with? Okay, Louis said green. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll go with green. Okay, after green, Divine, which other color should we deal with after green? Purple. Okay, so we'll work with green and the next one will be purple. Okay, so Louis, sorry, forgive me, Lois. So for green, can you give me just one meaning or a particular symbolism for green? When it comes to green, what can you tell about green, or what does green mean to you? I'll be waiting for your reply while I go to that particular color. It should be green. I don't want forest green. Vegetation. Wow, this name. Okay, you're correct. Vegetation. Okay, there's a much more simpler term for that. You could actually say nature, right? So when you hear the color green, what comes to your mind first should be nature. You don't really need to say vegetation. Vegetation is too straightforward. So you just say nature. Okay. Sorry guys. We're going to that now. Okay, divine productivity. Okay, that's for green. Yes. Very good. Any other trial? Is there any other one? There's one more. There's one meaning I'm looking for green. Any other attempts? You guys should try now. Okay, so another meaning for green is wealth. You could say finance, you could say wealth. So if you actually look, most of the financial sectors, not talking about logos now, but most of the financial sectors, anything that has to do with money, even when you look at your emojis on your WhatsApp and all that, you see that money has the color green. So we're talking about green. We're dealing with wealth. We're dealing with nature. We're dealing with productivity, as Divine said. Sorry. Okay, so he said here. So just like what I was saying, he said green has two paradoxical meanings. Wow, what a very large all this grammar. So it says one being nature and the environment, and the other being money. So these are like the two basic meanings of green you need to have at the back of your mind, which both of you answered correctly. So when we're talking about green, we're talking about nature, we're talking about wealth. So it says here, when it comes to nature, green represents renewal and growth. Then it's also associated with wealth, prestige, and greed. So notice every color has both a good and bad symbolism. So don't just think that, okay, just like red. You know, red, when we see red, what comes to our mind? Danger. So the bad side of red, danger, anger, and all that. Then the good side, we have love, we have excitement as well too. Red also has to do with excitement. Yeah. Okay, so just the same thing too for green. So we're talking about green, the good side of green, we're talking about growth, we're talking about wealth, we're talking about nature. The bad side of green, talking about greed, right? Okay. So it says here there are some other color combinations that Canva also explains with green. It says purple green, that's teams well with blue and other these things. So they're actually talking about color combinations here. They're actually talking about color combinations. So here too, you could also know the hex code, the RGB, and the CMYK value for green. So that's it for green. You know what to do. The site is at your disposal for you to check everything. So here we have the color combinations, monochromatic, and the other color harmony schemes. Okay, so we'll move to the next one, which is purple. Divine said purple, right? So we're going to purple. Okay, purple, 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 purple. Yes. Also one of my favorite colors. Purple and blue are my favorite colors. Okay, so purple, before we move down to what it means, I need both of you guys to tell me in your own terms what you think purple is. So Lois, what do you think purple means? Divine, what do you think purple means? Yes, I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, royal. Is it because I said royalty divine? I think I've mentioned it before. So you took my word. Ah, both of you are saying royalty. There's no other meaning for purple again. Beauty. Okay, kind of. Yes, purple is a very beautiful color. So yes. Okay, divine. I want you to say something else. I think I said this royal. I mentioned royalty earlier. So you guys are stealing my words. Divine, can you mention something else? Divine, can you try? Prestige. All this your big grammar. Where did you see prestige? Okay. So when we're talking about purple, we're talking about creativity, we're talking about spirituality, we're talking about royalty. And I'm sure Canva must also explain some of those things. Okay, so it's here. It says here, purple has the balance of red's stimulation and blue's calming properties. It's traditionally associated with royalty, majesty, nobility, as well as having a spiritual or mysterious quality, just like what I said. So it says here, darker shades of purple often represent luxury, while lighter shades of purple has to do with femininity and sentimental and nostalgic emotions. So just like what you said, Lois, you mentioned beauty. So yes, purple has to do with it, but lighter shades of purple do. Okay, so that's it for purple, and you know the rest now. The color codes, both the hex and the RGB and all that. Just take note of them. That's it for the hex. That's it for the RGB. That's it for the CMYK. And over to the color combination section, it has different color combinations. So that's why, like I said, if you want to embark on any project, you really shouldn't have an issue knowing how to combine colors, because this resource is at your disposal for you to try out so many things. So I would suggest you guys should try out so many things. Try out a lot of these color combinations, whether it's the monochromatic or the other ones Canva is offering here. And I think all these color combinations, they have names. So I'm saying like petal, velvet petal. I'm seeing flowers like eyes. Hey, I'm seeing lavender horizon and so many things. So you could just try them out and see the kind of designs you can create with those color combinations. Okay, so what's the next secondary color? We've mentioned green, we've mentioned purple. What's the next secondary color? If you guys can still remember. In the next secondary color, can you guys still remember? We've mentioned green, we've mentioned purple. What's our next secondary color? Or you guys have forgotten so soon? Divine and Lois, what's our next secondary color? Ah, you guys have forgotten. You should not fall my hand, though. Very good. Orange. Yes, that's our next secondary color. Orange. Very good. Beautiful, Lois. You did well. Okay, so let's move to orange. I think, do we still have another secondary color? I don't think so. We've done, okay, red, blue. Red and blue gives us purple, which we've done. We've dealt with that. Blue, yellow gives us green. Yes, we've dealt with that. Red, yellow gives us orange. So orange is the last secondary color. Okay, so let's move to orange. Let's move to orange. So we're done with the last. Sorry guys. Okay, orange. Okay, yeah. Orange. So please, when you are trying to look for the color meanings, just type the actual color name. You can leave those other color combinations. If you guys want to know the meanings of those other color combinations, whether it's orange, red, orange, yellow, orange, blue, you can actually do that and just click and see what it means for curiosity's sake. Oh, yes, before I go down. So who can tell me what orange means? Please, somebody should not now mention orange fruit. I don't want you to now mention orange fruit for me. Orange is not orange fruit. In Nigeria, our orange is not, doesn't have the color orange. So please say something different. Pico. So Lois, what does orange mean to you? Same thing for Divine. I'm waiting for you guys. Yes, guys, I'm waiting for you people. Yes. You guys are still thinking, or people don't know. I just need one answer from each of you. Or you guys don't know. Or can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so Divine, what does orange mean? Can you give me one symbol for orange? Orange. Fun. Very good. Simple. Because even the secondary color, see one of the ways you could actually know the meanings of these things. You can actually know the meaning of a secondary color through the primary colors that were combined to form that particular one. So we know that red and yellow combined together forms orange. You already know the meaning of red. Red talks about excitement, danger, and some other things. Same thing, yellow deals with fun, happiness, and all that. So some of the good parts of red, some of the good parts of yellow also are still the same meanings for orange. Do you understand? So yes, Divine, I'll go with your word. I think Lois is still thinking. So fun, yes, orange depicts fun. I can see that the color orange is also used when we are talking about anything related to kids or children or something like that. Okay, so like we said, orange is a fresh, youthful. So this is why I'm actually reading here. So orange is a fresh, youthful, and creative color. It has the warmth of red, just like what I was telling you guys before. The color combinations of their primary colors, the meanings also are still applied to the secondary color. So it says it has the warmth of red and the optimism of yellow, and it communicates activity, energy, and it also encourages socialization. Orange looks and feels fresh and healthy and can even stimulate appetite. Wow, that means okay, which is true, by the way. And it says, and because it is very easy to see, it is used to catch attention and also signal safety. Good, very good. So we also have here different color combinations for that. We have the RGB, the hex, the hex code, and the CMYK. So please take note of that. Take note of that. For you to actually understand or know some of these meanings, just trace it down to the meanings of their primary colors and all that. It helps. It helps. It helps. Not everything, but just some parts. Just like what they said here. The warmth of red and the optimism of yellow. That's orange, right? Okay, so that's it for our secondary colors, and we move over to our tertiary colors where we'll deal on these tertiary colors. Also has to, we can also call our tertiary colors neutral. Yeah. So we're talking about black, we're talking about ash, or we'll call it gray, black, white, gray, gold, silver, and brown. Okay. So let's move over to brown. Our time is almost over. So sorry guys. So let's just deal with, okay, so I think our time is up. So I'll just want you guys to search on the other colors. But let's just deal with the last color. So which color should we deal with? Then you guys can check the other ones. I've mentioned the tertiary colors. We have brown, we have black, we have white, we have gold, we have silver. So I want you guys to just choose one so we can go through it. Then the other ones, we just go through them as an assignment. So Lois, which color? Which color do you want us to use? Divine, which color? Which of the tertiary colors? I'm waiting. Our time is already up. I didn't hear you. You can use the chat window. You can use the chat window, Divine. Brown. Okay. Lois, do you have... Lois, you say magenta. No, magenta is not a tertiary color. Magenta is like a different shade of pink. It's not a tertiary color. It's actually a color shade of pink. Did I even mention pink? I think pink has to do with also secondary colors. Yes, Lois. Pink is a secondary color. Pink is a secondary color. I think it's actually a combination of three colors. I think red, orange, and yellow. I don't know. I'm just trying to remember. I think. But I think we should we deal with pink or we should just move to brown? Let's actually see the color combination. Or let's move straight to brown. What do you guys think? Should we treat the brown color or pink? All right. Let's do. Divine, are you okay with that? Okay. Okay, so let's do pink. So I think I don't really need to ask this question. So whenever we hear the term pink, or we hear about the color pink, we all know the most important symbol for pink. So femininity or feminism, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, so good. So yes, I just remembered. So mixed with red and white, you get pink. So it's actually red and white. Red and white gives you pink. Red and white. Take note. Red and white gives you pink. Okay, so that's actually the combination of a neutral color and a primary color. Okay, so pink makes you think sensitivity, femininity, sweetness, romance, and it's a very gentle color. It could also be vibrant and energetic when we're talking about the different shades of pink. Okay, so it says here combine pink with purples and blue to create a gentle, calming, charming palette and all that and all that. This is our color hex code for pink, the FFCO C0. Please take note, this is 0, not O. It's 0, please. Okay, so that's the hex value. You could actually see it here in its lowercase form. So that's the hex value for pink, the RGB, and the CMYK value for pink. So that's just basically what it is. So what I want you guys to do, when you go through that link, check, research, do your research on brown, do your research on black, white, gold, and silver. And when we come back on Monday, I'll be asking you guys what these colors mean. I'm going to ask you guys, yes, I'm going to ask you guys. So I want you to do that assignment. So go through it, do the colors, research on the colors brown, black, white, gold, and silver. And in our next class on Monday, I'll ask you guys, both of you, what it means. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for your time. I really do appreciate. You're welcome. So sorry I can't give room to ask questions. I think we spent a lot of time showing you guys something. So if you have questions regarding today's class, I promise you guys we will deal on the questions first before we start our new class on Monday. So please just take down your questions on Monday. I will answer them unfailingly. That will be the first thing we're going to do. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Do have a lovely weekend. Bye.